Hope everybody had a great 4th of July. We are set for the next round of the Northwest iRacing Truck Series. Tonight, from Kansas Speedway, we're ready for 134 laps, 200 miles around this exciting mile-and-a-half track here. The tricky cookie cutter track in Kansas is now on LSR TV, your home sim racing. Good evening. I'm Wesley Outland, joined alongside Greg Ranson. Greg, the Cup Series was off on Monday because of the holiday. The Truck Series is the star attraction tonight, and we're ready to see what the trucks can do here in Kansas.
Yeah, we're back here at Kansas. It's been a while since the Northwest Racing Series was at Kansas. It's been a couple of months since the Cup Series paid their visit here. Sean Brightsman took home the win that night. So looking to sweep the season at Kansas is that number 46 LSR TV Toyota Tundra. But Wesley, it's the trucks here tonight, and it's a long race, 134 laps coming up here at Kansas Speedway. So we will see how this race unfolds, because this is a race that could go either really exciting or it could be a long green flag run here tonight.
You're exactly right. We could have green flag runs till the finish. From green to checker, or we could have, green cautions, a long green flag run, a sequence of the pit stops, and then we could see another crazy finish at the end. Anything can happen here as the drivers' meeting is about to wrap up with the officials of the Northwest Racing Series, and the trucks will be ready to roll here for qualifying. Again, 200 miles, 134 laps. We are live on so many platforms, including LSR TV on Facebook, YouTube's channel. Also, we're on so many other outlets available. You can follow LSR TV on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And again, keep up with all the great coverage going on. So again, Greg, the last time we left the trucks, it has been the Jeff Stabnow show. 3 wins in a row. And in the last 7 races, 5 victories for Truck 24.
And he likes to say that he doesn't think he has a shot. He is always in contention everywhere he goes, Wesley. Hottest driver on the tour, like you mentioned, 5 wins in the last 7 starts. How can you go against that number 24 right now? Jeff Stabnow, without a doubt, the hottest driver in the Truck Series right now. Fresh off the big win in Indianapolis last week, but you always have to factor in another member of Team LSR TV, Dan West Jr., in the number 55. Top of the charts again in practice for that number 55. Always a threat everywhere. From the early stages, looks like those two are going to be right up there in the mix once again.
Yeah, ready to go here tonight. Again, this is all part of Season 7 of the series. As I'm checking out danlisa.com, looking at all the stats and statistics here, and we have got a great race coming up here tonight. As again, we are at Kansas Speedway for 200 miles, 134 laps this evening. Next week, we go to Vegas. So for the next couple of weeks, before we go to a road course in 3 weeks, Greg, we've got some cookie cutter tracks to deal with here on LSR TV for the Truck Series.
1.5 mile ovals coming up here, and a lot of people say racing is pretty much the same on here, but every track has their own unique little characteristics that make it just that much different, which make it fun to watch them try to adapt to each racing facility, Wesley. So no doubt some fun racing coming up here. Just because it's 1.5 miles doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be a bad track. It's going to be pretty fun, and it starts off here today at Kansas. Toto, we are back in Kansas tonight.
A quick statistic, if you will, because I'm a stat guy. I love stats. In the last 10 races for the Northwestern iRacing Truck Series, it's been since April 9th. There has been only 2 drivers that have won. Jeff Stabnow, who we mentioned here a few moments ago, and Dan West Jr., and they're all part of Team LSR TV.
Absolutely, Wesley. It was so much fun watching Team LSR TV roll last week up in the top 4 pretty much the entirety of the race until the late race shenanigans broke out. But could we see that again tonight? All 4 of those trucks always among the strongest trucks in the field. Can't count out the 5th amigo of Team LSR TV either. You got John Ottenbacher, who's really been heating it up lately in the Truck Series specifically, really starting to get somewhere in that number 89 truck. A lot of speed in it last few weeks. Could this be the night he breaks through?
And by the way, LSR TV will have coverage here tonight, not only from Kansas, but next Monday night as round number 16 of the Northwest iRacing Cup Series will be at Las Vegas Motor Speedway for the 150, 100 laps for the Cups Series. Again, Justin Prince, Greg Rentz will be in the booth. Myself will be on pit road. And again, that will be on LSR TV coverage again next Monday night. That's Monday night at 11 o'clock Eastern time. You do not want to miss it here. Again, 11 Eastern, 10 Central, and 8 o'clock Pacific time for LSR TV's coverage. And again, just getting ready to get back to things here because this is a one-off race, if you will, Greg, because the Cup Series doesn't go to Kansas. The trucks are here tonight. Then we turn around and we go to the Bull Ring at Las Vegas next weekend.
Cup Series was here at Kansas about 2 months ago, Wesley, so that's why this feels like the standalone night. Cup Series was here a couple of months ago, and the Truck Series went to Charlotte that weekend instead, so it felt like, okay, when's the Truck Series going to Kansas? Finally, we're back here in Kansas, ready to go racing in Kansas City, Kansas. It's located on the Kansas side of the state line, right next to the soccer stadium, but we are getting ready to qualify here, and a lot of these drivers were waiting for this, and one guy who's going to be looking for it is the winner of the Cup race at Indianapolis last week, Chris White in the number 83, because Wesley, in that race at Kansas a couple months ago, he came up 4/100ths of a second shy of victory lane to Sean Brightsman that night. He wants some redemption tonight.
I think you're 100% correct, Matt, as we have qualifying on the speedway now, led by John Ottenbacher. Ryan Maines is also on the racetrack as they have about 12 minutes remaining in their qualifying run. We see Ottenbacher on speedway, Stephen O'Hare on the racetrack in the 41 truck. All these beautiful machines ready to go here. We'll see who can put the best lap down, and still waiting to see the likes of the West family and Stabnow yet to qualify, Greg.
Yeah, they always hit the track later on in the session. Stephen O'Hare, and we mentioned him, he's at the top of the board right now by 0.2 of a second. 31.574, now at 31.294, make it a half second over Ottenbacher and Maines for Stephen O'Hare. But Wesley O'Hare was the winner a while ago back at the Texas Motor Speedway. Since then has really been hit or miss, has great runs but doesn't have the luck, or has runs in the middle of the pack and then all of a sudden finds himself in the top 5 at the end. It's really been one end of the spectrum or the other for Stephen O'Hare since that win at Texas. Looking to bounce back here, has a good start to the night with a quick lap of a 31.294 on the board over John Ottenbacher and Ryan Maines. 3 trucks have taken time so far. I believe Carl Burke is on track right now in a new look number 53 Chevy Silverado, scrolling through the field, and looks like he may be the only truck on track right now.
Carl Burke is one of those drivers that we followed the last month or so since I've been working the play-by-play for the truck broadcast, Greg, and I've said he's due. He's due. This is a track which kind of reminds me of Darlington and even Michigan, for that matter, a couple of weeks ago, where Greg, Carl had a decent run. Could Burke be the man to win this race here tonight if he can play his cards right?
When the Cup Series was at Kansas a couple months ago, Carl Burke was on the verge of that win. It was a late race penalty on a restart that cost him the win there, but he had control of the field with 8 laps to go, Wesley. So you knew he was going to be looking forward to a chance for redemption here at Kansas tonight. Second on the charts right now, 31.386. I'm with you. Carl Burke is due for a win. Some would say he's overdue for a win here in the Northwest Racing Series in 2020. So Carl Burke knocking on the door many times, had such a good run in the Cup Series a few months ago here. This could be very well the night that Carl Burke breaks through.
Qualifying continuing, the 333 on the racetrack now. As we see Carl Burke, how about that, my friend, going to the top of the board. 31.281. Roy Grande also now in the top 5 in the 18.
James Vining on track, new look for the 333, nice looking one. Doesn't have the cat on board this week. Hopefully the cat's locked up. Hey, James, I can say, yeah, the cat may have caused you the wreck, but at least it didn't break your glasses like mine did earlier today.
Yeah, for sure. I lost train of thought here. As we watch these drivers cross the line, we see now the number 55 of Dan West Jr. In the last 9 races, he's got 2 wins compared to the 5 wins out of 7 events for the driver of Jeff Stabnow that we just mentioned. And again, we are watching that 55 make his way down the back straightaway as Carl Burke is the man to bump 31.281 seconds. O'Hare, King, how about Tyler King, the racetrack king, is looking good right now in the top 3. But here comes Dan West Jr. Cross the line. He will go to the top of the scoring pylon. Not anymore. Tyler King got it back.
Racetrack King getting through.
What a good job.
Ford F-150, top of the board, 163. First driver to go at 31.1 here on this one, but Dan West is on lap number 2. Oh, not gonna happen. He slid.
Wow.
Number 4. So Dan West Jr. can settle in for second right now. 11 trucks have gone. They're chasing Tyler King, Racetrack King, 31.163.
And before we drop the green flag, we will speak to our fast qualifier and get our thoughts with him. But looking real quickly as we continue along with qualifying, just about 8 minutes remaining, under 8 minutes left in qualifying here for the Kansas 200. 200 miles, 134 laps, as here comes Chris White. Chris White coming off of the most recent win for the, of course, Northwest iRacing Cup Series that was on LSR TV last Monday night. We'll be back in action at Vegas on Monday for this upcoming Monday night. But Chris White trying to, if you will, be a winner now on the Truck Series as he is on track in 83, Greg.
Chris White so close to that win in the Cup Series here earlier this season. 10th for his first lap, 31.791 for Chris White. And Wesley, that race that Chris White ran at Kansas was the race that he made the switch from Chevy to Ford, and that was what started this hot streak.
That's exactly right.
Kansas.
And he believes that Ford is the new way to go. We'll look at the manufacturer standings here as whenever we give the lineup race. But again, we're watching now Jeff Stabnow. Here he comes in 9 races. 5 wins in 7. Dan West with the other wins to split it up here, as here comes qualifiers now.
Sean Brightsman, the Cup winner here, also on track in the 46. He's a guy you always have to keep an eye on.
Down the back straightaway, Tyler King. What an upset pole this could be for him. 31.163, the pole speed right now. Devin West just qualified 4th, 31.287. Stabnow 8th on his first lap, 31.417. Let's see where he goes on lap 2 to the pole. 31.035. New quick qualifier, Greg, in 24.
I don't think we're going to fall for any possum moves by Jeff Stabnow anymore, Wesley. Hottest driver on the tour.
This driver leading the points by 6. As we look at the point standings real quickly, going into tonight's race at Kansas, he has a 6-point lead over Dan West Jr. in 55. John Audenbacher is 3rd, 66 points back. Ryan Maines is 4th, 101 points back, and 5th is 108 for Stephen Paulison. Corey Walters, Frank Harris, Stephen O'Hare, Devin West, and Thomas Green round out the top 10. And here's another quick statistic. Besides wins for O'Hare and Devin West, as well as Sean Brightsman and Travis Barnes, there has been total domination, 5 wins each for Jeff Stabnow and Dan West Jr. And John Audenbacher has 1 win to boot too.
Yeah, definitely, Wesley. It has been fun to see it all go down, but there's no action on track right now, as it looks like the rest of the field is set to go on provisional. So we will take a quick commercial break before racing. When we come back, we'll be rolling and ready to go.
ETE Reman is the world's best remanufacturer of transmissions for import and domestic cars and trucks. Based in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, our customers are repair shops, auto parts stores, dealerships, and distributors. And with 6 nationwide warehouses, we're where and when you need us. So when you're looking for a transmission that is like new, only better, instill confidence and install ETE Remake.
Back here at Kansas Speedway, LSR TV, your home of sim racing coverage for the Kansas 200. I'm Wesley Outland. Greg Rentz up top side. Along on production is, of course, BJ Duval and Cody Wooten. We're ready for the field to assemble. It's going to be Jeff Stabnow, as we said, quick qualifier. And now let's give you your starting lineup here, presented by Waltz Beard Co. Jeff Stabnow in 24, fast qualifier 31.035. Tyler King on row number 1. Dan West Jr. and Carl Burke. He will make up row number 2.
Devin West will make up row number 3, rounding out the top 5. In the number 5 with Stephen O'Hare, who is outside the Texas winner. A couple winners on 1.5 tracks there on row number 3 with Devin's win at Homestead. Dan Lowther looking strong, qualifying P7 in the number 63 with Steve Paulson, who has had some good qualifying efforts lately. Wesley just hasn't had the luck to go with the race yet. Sean Breitzman and Kevin Smith round out the top 10.
There you go. Chris White, winner again at Indianapolis for the Cup Series, will start 11th. Roy Grande will fire off in the 12th position. Row number 7 will find John Ottenbacher, 1 win on the season for him in the trucks, and Ryan Maines will fire 14th, row 7 in the 13th.
Final truck to take time was the Catman, James Vining in 15th. Drivers that will start on provisional will be Corey Walters, Ray Fournier, Scott Hutchinson, Tom Green, Frank Harris, Rick Heffley, Dana Rogers, and Brett Johnson.
And while we get ready to go to green flag, let's talk to our fast qualifier again. Jeff Stabnow, the Possum. You ready to bring this field to the green at Kansas?
Yeah, I think so.
A strong truck you got.
Well, we had a pretty strong qualify set. My race set here, I've been bad on a real loose condition about 10-12 laps in, and then it kind of finishes tight, but it's hard to keep it under me during that loose phase. So I left it that way just because the track's been cooling all night and should continue to cool for a little bit. So hopefully it comes to me, but I'm nervous on his first run.
All right, we'll see what happens. That's Jeff Stabnow. He is ready to go from the pole in truck number 24, looking to be his 6th win. And it would be 6 in 9 races if he pulls it off. The man that's tied with 5 wins with him this year is right behind him in Dan West Jr. The pace car drops onto pit road. We are set for the start of the Kansas 200. Green flag goes in the air, and on the brake, it's Stabnow to the inside lane. Tyler King, half a car length back. They'll fan back out 2 by 2. 3 rows deep from the leader, Stabnow in 1.
Stabnow got the wall going into turn number 1, and that's going to open the door for Dan West Jr. and his son Devin to follow suit in the 55 and the 5. Dan West Jr. out front in the number 55, leading the way in the turn number 3. Here comes Devin to the inside, and Stabnow falling in behind Dan right now. It's going to be a drag race between father and son for lap 1. It's going to go to the father. Dan West Jr. does hold off Stabnow for lap 1.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you have a race. And let's see Dan West Jr. on the brake of the inside lane. Here comes Stabnow. As Dan West Jr. goes to the top shelf, Stabnow thought about peeking to the inside, but then he says, no, I'm going to go to the top side now. I'm going to follow you as they go to the back stretch into turn number 3, and we got a caution. Caution on the speedway. Trucks are crashing on the bottom of the apron. Kevin Smith and more are involved. We go into our first yellow flag here tonight.
Kevin Smith with 00. We've talked about a lot of speed in that 00 car. Just hasn't had the racer's luck once again. A bit early.
Kevin Smith and Dan Lowther, it looks like, putting us under the yellow flag. So a tough break for those trucks. We're riding on board with Kevin Smith now. He got tagged in the back from Lowther, and then he came back down and hit Lowther again. And there you see our caution on the speedway. Looks like Ottenbacher spun as well on the top of the banking as well in the 89.
So tough break for all those drivers there. Carl Burke's got damage as well. Heavy damage on the 53.
Man, what a tough break. That's my pick, Burke.
Yeah, he was so strong here a couple months ago.
Oh, more trucks crashing. Frank Harris in the fence.
Huh.
what turned into being a 1-2 truck accident turned out to be 5 or more involved. Caution is out.
Under caution here. 1 lap complete on the board under green. Coming to start lap 4 right now. Dan West Jr. leads. Stabnow second. Devin West your top 3 early on in this one. Wesley, the big movers so far. Wow, Ryan Maines, the new look Atari Chevy, being scored in the 5th position right now after starting 14th after getting through that, but looks like he may be surrendering a couple of those spots back in that brand new Atari Chevy Silverado. That thing is bright.
Staying under the pace car as Dan West Jr., the man leading the way. We'll see what Stephen O'Hare can do in that 41 machine. I love that Atari colors. You know, that was the first video game I ever played in my life, was an Atari. We didn't have Nintendo. We didn't have Sega Genesis. We had an Atari. I had pole position. First racing game was pole position. Remember pole position?
I remember pole position.
Yes. And Pitfall. And okay, yeah. Unfortunately, I am revealing how old I am thanks to my producer in my ear. So go ahead and eat your cookies. As we are under the yellow flag here.
Sharing.
Do what?
He's not even sharing. How rude.
Yeah, I know. He's not even sharing, you know. Oh, he's teasing us in our LSR TV Facebook account. Beautiful looking cars, the trucks. Tonight, the Cup Series is back at Las Vegas at the Bull Ring. Las Vegas Motor Speedway on Monday night. We'll be joined back with Justin, Greg in the booth. Myself will be on pit road. I enjoy the transition, Greg. I know you do the Cup Series as color analyst and Truck Series color with me, but I love being in the pits and then being in the booth with you. It's definitely fun. I feel like I'm the Vince Welch of LSR TV.
Hey, it works. Bouncing all over the place, man. We both have been broadcasting earlier in the day.
We have.
This is the nightcap for us.
This is the 4th broadcast I've done since 7:30 tonight.
Back to back to back to back. I'm on my 2nd one, so a lot of time on iRacing tonight for us folks here in the tower in the production room.
And this is the 2nd broadcast for LSR TV for Thursday. Remember, the Race Gen X Series is every Thursday night. Congratulations to Roy Hyde picking up the win, man, in the 00 entry. Tonight, who will be the winner of the trucks here on LSR TV for the Northwestern iRacing Truck Series? Right now, Dan West Jr. leads. And don't forget, on Sunday night, I'm back in the booth with Devin Henry. And we're going to be at Bristol. It's Bristol, baby! Getting ready for the All-Star Week. 300 laps around virtual iRacing Bristol Motor Speedway for the Tennessee 300, and that will be at Sunday night for the Adrenaline iRacing League. And then we come back and we do the Cup Series for Northwestern. Wednesday night, World of Thunder. And I think I went through all of it, all the coverage on your home of sim racing, LSR TV.
Lots of great racing here on LSR TV, and that's not even counting in all the real life racing you can catch on one of our great partners, Race on Texas.
Yes,
a lot of great racing action on there. One of our great partners here at LSR TV.
For a matter of fact, one of the big races coming up in October is the Lone Star 600. The next caution break we get, we'll definitely promote that. Thank you to what Chris David and everybody does with Race on Texas and the cross promotion, as well for LSR TV, as well as got races going on, got that track pass program, a lot of cool stuff happening. So while you're checking out LSR TV, hit a like and a share and a follow on Race on Texas as well. Pace car is about to drop back on to pit road. It's Dan West Jr. and Stabnow, the aces of the field, so to speak, both tied at 5 wins each, both tied in 1 and 2 for the championship. 6 points back, bring the field to green here at Kansas, and it is Dan West Jr. on the jump. They roar to turn 1.
West Jr. with a big lead over his son Devin, who's got help from Stephen O'Hare in the number 41. Remember, Stabnow caught the wall on the initial start there and is able to fend off O'Hare. Now Ryan Maines back up in the 5th after having to give that spot back to Chris White. Ryan Maines up now into the top 5. White peaking low. White up 5 positions. Maines up 9. And White trying to make the pass. That is for the top 5. West leading the way, but the battle is for 5th between White and Maines.
Ryan Main's truck there as he got shifted like a rag doll to the outside lane, and he's allowed now drivers of Chris White and John Ottenbacher to nestle and squeeze by him. Also the 44 Tyler King down to the inside. That battle going on. Maines with an issue as they go to the inside in 3.
Problems for Ryan Maines, who was up so many positions early in the race, now going backwards as White gets around, Ottenbacher goes around. Here comes the 44 of Tyler King, Racetrack King. Remember, Tyler King started in 2nd, has fallen back to 8th, and is now starting to get back up there as Maines gets through. And now Ottenbacher trying to get up there.
Down the straightaway. Now we got the West family. The sandwich is Jeff Stabnow. Trying to go 3 wide, thought better of it. Now scampers back to 3rd. Lets the West family go to 1 and 2, father or son. Bottom of the racetrack, Stephen O'Hare using the apron as they go back up the speedway. The second caution flag in this race so far, 10 laps in of 134, which is very ironic for the most part. Greg Rance, we did not expect to start like this, definitely.
No, definitely not, Wesley. Did not expect the caution early in the race. And honestly, I'm surprised the guys are hanging in as well as they are. I figured this would get a little bit more spread out than it is, but we are seeing a little bit of side-by-side racing here. Jeff Stabnow said he wasn't sure we were going to see side-by-side racing, Wesley, and yet we're seeing a bunch of it here early.
Off the corner, and then they stuck to the outside lane single file. Dan West Jr., 6 points back to Stabnow for the championship right now as it stands. And you have 5 wins each on each other. And to be honest with you, the only reason that Stabnow is the man leading the points by 6 points, Greg, is because he has more top 5s and top 10s than Dan West Jr. has.
Yeah, he has really done a good job with being consistent there. And that goes back, Wesley, to those problems late in the race that Dan West Jr. has had over the last few weeks. We've seen so many strong runs out of the 55, but think back to what happened at Richmond. Missing pit entry on the last pit stop. Bristol getting caught up in an accident late. Just stuff that just hinders the 55 cars, got them in that position right now.
Off the corner, wow, Maines almost bounced off the concrete as he exit off the turn. Kevin Smith in that Jags entry, sitting on the inside in the top 10. He's in 8th, had a little hiccup at the start, now starting to come back through the field in that 00 entry. And we make our way down the backstretch. You know, we mentioned as we ride on board with Ryan Maines in the Atari number 13 entry behind Kevin Smith. They're slicing and dicing inside and outside. Pretty good racing so far as we get ready to put lap 14 on complete.
Yeah, definitely, Wesley. Been so much fun watching the side-by-side racing here. Battle breaking out up in front of them. Saw Devin West and Stephen O'Hare and Jeff Stabnow slicing and dicing up there. They're coming off turn 2 right now. West has the spot, which Stabnow held at the line last time by. Devin gets around for a second, but look at the run Stephen O'Hare got on the inside. He's going to get a 2-for-1 into turn 3.
Ladies and gentlemen, I just got a text from a friend of mine as we see Devin West bounce off the wall. They are 3 wide now with Stephen O'Hare, Jeff Stabnow, Devin West in that mix as they go back into the corner. But I just wanted to say I got a text from one of my friends at NASCAR. They're at Kentucky this weekend, and he just told me definitely keep your thoughts and prayers and love to Justin Allgaier and family. A crazy last lap crash, and Allgaier is in the hospital. That's all the information that I can give right now, but definitely prayers for my friend Justin Allgaier.
Thoughts and prayers going out for sure to Justin Allgaier. But we are leading the way right now, Dan West Jr.
Back straight away, Dan West Jr. There you see Stephen O'Hare. He's now moved up to the 2nd position. 2.5 seconds back to the leader, Dan West Jr. And then son Devin West is 3rd, almost 2.8 seconds back on interval for 3rd. And right behind him is Stabnow, 3.1 seconds back. So my question is this. We have seen this several times from the Possum. Jeff Stabnow, is he just playing the field like he's done before?
We will see. Have to see what's going on here in the early stages of this one. Stephen O'Hare in the 41, pulling away from Devin West. Stabnow in fourth. We know he plays possum, so it very much is a possibility, Wesley.
Working on lap number 18, this time by at the start-finish line. As they cross the line, there's Stephen O'Hare. Devin West, Stabnow, third, fourth, and fifth. Right there behind second place truck of O'Hare. As they go back into the corner, we mentioned Chris White in fifth position. Chris White coming off the win most recently for the Northwest iRacing Cup Series last Monday night. We took a break for an observance of 4th of July this previous Monday. As you see, Kevin Smith trying to close it on his back door. That 83 trying to also win in the Truck Series of Northwest competition as he got his first Northwest Cup Series win at Indianapolis at the Brickyard a couple of weeks ago. Greg, that was a special moment for 83.
Yeah, definitely a big one for Chris White in the 83. Ooh, Kevin Smith behind him, a big bobble out of that 00. He lost a lot of ground to Chris White there, trying to reel him back in.
Back straight away, coming up on 20 laps completed, this time by 134. This is the Kansas 200. 134 laps the distance on LSR TV, your home of sim racing. Sean Brightsman, one win on the season for him in the truck number 46 a couple of weeks ago. Sizing up Tom Green, and I don't mean the actor comedian, as he goes around him in turn 2.
Going around battles all over the racetrack right now, Wesley. But the field is beginning to spread out. And speaking of spread out, Dan West Jr. has opened up a 3-second lead over Stephen O'Hare, who is in a hornet's nest with Devin West and Jeff Stabnow. But Dan West Jr. is in his own zip code right now. He has crossed the state line into Kansas City, Missouri right now.
Back straight away is O'Hare now dealing with Devin West. Stabnow along right there with him. Off the corner, off turn 4, 3-truck battle, size it up, Stabnow got a little wiggly there, thought about it, couldn't get there in time. Dan West Jr. and son, father, son, 1 and 2, Stabnow third. By the way, they're all part of Team LSR TV, sitting in the top 3.
Team LSR TV 1, 2, 3 right now. Kind of going back to what we saw last week at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway with Sean Brightsman in that mix as well. Brightsman kind of hanging around in the 12th position right now in that number 46.
Back on the bottom of the racetrack, there's James Vining in that 333, got a new paint job on that wrap, number 333. Looks like he's in a wagon truck, if you will. The Toyota wagon of James Vining. Is that the best way of saying it, Greg?
I guess you can say it that way. Love the new look on James Vining as he gets around Tyler King and brings Sean Brightsman with him. That'll move Vining into the top 10 as he goes after Steve Paulison right now in the 9th position.
I see that vehicle and I think of Holiday Roads in National Lampoon's Vacation. Off of turn number 2, Dan Lowther and Tom Green. This is right now for position number 14 and 15 on the or 15th and 16th on the racetrack. And Lowther got in the wall, little shower of sparks. And pretty much this is the best battle on the racetrack, to be honest with you. Everybody else is single file.
Yep, single file sorting out from Kansas. This is kind of what we were expecting, Wesley, once the field settled down, and we were expecting a long green flag run here. And yeah, scrolling through the field, not much action going on. Brightsman getting around Vining up here for the 9th position. So Brightsman beginning his charge to the front.
Down into turn number 3 now. Back to the start finish line as we see this battle continue with Tyler King. Tyler King, the racetrack king, trying to get around John Ottenbacher for that spot in 11th.
Hot Talker battling out. Side-by-side battle between Kevin Smith and Ryan Maines. That's for the 6th position. Maines took a peek on the outside, trying to get around Smith. Smith able to hold him off right now. Paulson coming up in a hurry. And they were side-by-side at the line. Maines had the spot just barely. 5/1000ths of a second, the difference there, Wesley.
Back across the stripe. 27 of 134. Down the straightaway. Back into turn number 3. We watch now the 13 Atari colors. That is Ryan Maines. Ryan Maines has had his share of some wild-looking paint schemes on his wrap jobs for the Truck Series, but this one probably takes the cake of going back into the 70s with Atari.
Yeah, I love that scheme on Ryan Maines' truck right now. Wesley saw that. That was one of the first things I noticed this weekend here at Kansas was that bright number 13. Love it.
Atari, Jim Beam, LSR TV, Sean Brightsman right there behind one another. As they come back, slicing, dicing, wiggling and giggling for the top spot. Dan West Jr. leads the way. We're going to pause for a minute and talk about the race on Texas Lone Star 600 as we are still clean and green at Kansas. Dan West Jr. leads. Back with more on LSR TV, your home of sim racing, in a moment.
They say everything is bigger. These guys down in Texas aren't messing around. This feature race will separate the boys from the men, the girls from the ladies. Can you handle racing 300 laps for $25,000? It's not as easy as you think. We don't stop to tow those too weak. We just push them out of the way. We don't run 20 laps. We run 300 each night. We don't care about what you and your boys have under the hood. Bring all you got. Don't be scared. Call my Cowboy Jack today to get signed up. It all goes down on October 2nd and 3rd in Mesquite, Texas, just outside of Dallas. Kenny Wallace is coming back this year to try again. You don't have excuses. Go to LoneStar600.com now.
Of 134 laps, and we just had a scare during commercial break with Dan West Jr. He bounced off the wall, no harm, no foul. Greg Rentz, he's still in the lead and has a 3-second advantage over his son.
Did a nice job keeping it together. He lost about a second in that. It was up to almost 4 seconds when that happened, now down to 3.1, but has done a good job keeping it together. But now no doubt he's going to be thinking about possibly seeing if he needs the fast repair on this pit stop that's coming up.
We got Hooters and Tacos fighting each other off of turn number 4. Corey Walters and Roy Grande.
They found each other again. Taco wings.
Taco wings coming new from Hooters or Taco Bell, one or the other. I think we just created something that the restaurant changed use. Look at Kevin Smith diving to the inside of Sean Brightsman looking for that spot inside the top 10.
That's for 8th. Ryan Maines, Steve Paulson right there as well. James Vining kind of hanging back there, waiting to see if something happens. Brightsman holds him off and is now going for Paulson.
Back across the stripe, down the front straightaway. There is Sean Brightsman looking on the inside of Stephen Paulson. Back to the outside lane. We got under 100 laps to go here at Kansas. And one of the things we talked about as Brightsman all up under the back rear end of the machine of Paulson. Paulson to the inside trying to close in on Ryan Maines. And we have Tyler King in the pit lane. The 44 truck is on pit road, but as we talk about this happening here, under 100 laps to go, is in addition to this, we are starting this race in the dusk. We're going to be under the lights when this race ends. Under the lights at nighttime. It's going to be totally a different setup and settings on the trucks virtually, as Stephen O'Hare is also on pit road, Greg.
Yeah, Stephen O'Hare pitting from 3rd place, coming down pit road.
Partly cloudy skies, 12-mile-per-hour wind, 71 degrees, 74 for the track temperature. There's only 3 degrees difference. That's very abnormal. And again, it's very humid virtually here at Kansas.
That's playing a role in this race, so he's rolling. Stephen O'Hare leading the charge down pit road, Wesley. Just under 100 laps to go. And Devin West is really cutting into the lead of his father, Wesley. It's down to 1.9 seconds now. West Jr. in the 55. A lot of damage on the right rear of that 55 truck from that hit to the wall. So no doubt he's going to have to take the fast repair here on pit road.
And by the way, nobody has pitted yet. We're starting to see a sequence of green flag pit stops. We saw Tyler King coming in. O'Hare came in. Heffley came in. John Ottenbacher, who brought out the first caution after a tangle, is also on the pit lane. He gives up a top 10 run. When do you come to pit road?
Well, you have to start thinking about it now that Stephen O'Hare, one of the top runners, is on fresh tires now. Now you got to start thinking, okay, how much time do I want to give up to him before I make my move? You got to start thinking about it now if you're the race leaders, and they are really spread out now, Wesley. West, Stabnow, White, all pretty evenly spread out. White way back, 9 seconds back right now, trying to get up there. Ryan Maines holding in the top 5. That's their best battle right now, is this Hornets Nest behind Ryan Maines. You got Paulison, Brightsman, Smith, Walters, Stephen O'Hare on fresh tires trying to make his way through. That's the best battle on the racetrack right now.
And for the most part, we have not been bugging any of these drivers. They've kind of been, in their own little world, doing what they've been doing on the racetrack. So we are seeing what's going on here. Dan West Jr. still leading the way. 40 laps of 134. Green flag pit stops continue. Roy Grande in the Taco Bell entry just came down pit lane. Dan West Jr., Devin West 1 and 2. Interval is closing between 1st and 2nd. Stabnow 2.5 seconds back in 3rd. Chris White 9 seconds back to 4th, 13 seconds back for Ryan Maines. Sean Brightsman, Stephen Paulison, Kevin Smith all 13 seconds back. 14 seconds back for Corey Walters in 9th. And 15 seconds back for James Vine and the Catman right now in 10th.
You ran out your top 10, Wesley. Dan West Jr. down to 0.8 of a second the lead. Devin West coming in a hurry, trying to catch up to his father and take the race lead before
I swear I think he's coming to pit road. I really think he's coming to pit road. We can see this. Yes, sir. As Sean Brightsman and Ryan Maines battle beside one another. It just looked like it's so fast as the interval gap closed in for West Jr. and West Sr. It looks like Son West was closing in, and Daddy's coming to pit road, but he has not pitted yet, as we still watch Sean Brightsman and Ryan Maines and Stephen Paulison battle for position. That is for 5th, 6th, and 7th on the racetrack right now here at Kansas.
Great battle, side by side, Brightsman and Maines. But here comes Dan West Jr. still trying to lead the way. Devin West is catching him right now as the side-by-side battle for 5th continues. Brightsman had it at the line, but he breaks loose, Wesley.
Wow, hold on there, buddy.
On the bottom.
Holy smokes, wicked loose there for Sean Brightsman. That could have been ugly. What a save on the 46. 1 win on the year for Sean Brightsman in his truck. There is Ryan, I'm sorry, there is also Dan Lowther just outside the top 10 as we now see this battle continue with father and son. Dan West Jr., 6 points back to Stabnow, 5 wins on the year.
Oh,
Devin West to the wall.
What happened there? He just broke loose and slammed the wall.
Wow, looks like he tried to make a run on the inside on his father. Lost control, ate the fence. His truck is still loose, and they're coming to the pit lane. Jeff Stab now on pit road. Devin West on pit road. And Dan West Jr. did not pit.
He's staying out with the damage.
No, well, there's no damage on Dan West Jr.'s truck. That was all Devin West.
Well, Dan's got damage from that previous hit to the wall on the right.
Oh, yes, he does. You're exactly right. Yeah, I forgot about that.
That's why Devin was able to close in so quick. But Devin, he had no choice there. He had to be. Here comes Dan West Jr. coming down onto the apron now.
Daddy's on pit road. Father, son on pit lane. Son and Jeff will be able to get off the pits a little, probably about 10, 15 seconds faster than Dan West Jr. will. Let's stay on pit road, shall we? We're seeing Devin West. We're seeing Jeff Stab now exit. Here comes Dan West Jr. He has not hit his pit stall yet. He will be at pit stall number 2. He goes to his pit stall, and they go to work. Other trucks on the pit lane include drivers Chris White, Stephen Paulison, Sean Brightsman, James Vining, the Catman, Stephen O'Hare. All of these drivers, Frank Harris, Dana Rogers, all on pit road for service. And there goes Dan West Jr. He'll exit. Ryan Maines will cycle around as the leader. Chris White exits off the pit lane. Paulison and Brightsman still on for service, as here comes Stab now. Circling back around for position. Oh, wow, where is he at right now? I guess he's going to be in the top 10. He's in 9th. Dan West Jr. is 8th. Devin West is 7th.
Ryan Maines still leading the way. Corey Walters in 2nd. Trying to get up. Maines still staying out there, leading the way, but Corey Walters is putting pressure on him right now. Trying to figure out, I believe the first car on fresh tires is the 41 of Stephen O'Hare, who is 16 seconds out of the lead right now, Wesley. So.
And mind we add, they have not pitted yet. Ryan Maines, Corey Walters, Ray Fortier, Dan Lowther, they have all not pitted.
Yeah, first truck on track with fresh tires is that 41 of Stephen O'Hare. He is 12 seconds ahead of the West family right now. So we'll see how that early pit stop works out for O'Hare here once the rest of these guys pit. Corey Walters has gotten around Ryan Maines as Maines pits off of pit road. So the leader, Ryan Maines, on pit road now.
And as we see this cycle of pit stops continue to transition, with Walters leading, Fortier in 2nd, Lowther now 3rd, it will cycle back around to Stephen O'Hare being the new leader. And then Devin West will fall back to 2nd. Dan West Jr., who led most of this race, 3rd, and the whole truck of Jeff Stab now will bump to 4th. Right now, they are currently 5th, 6th, and 7th, or 4th through 7th, the racetrack. As here comes Corey Walters, the Hooters entry on the pit lane. He'll take service. Ray Fortier will now have his opportunity to lead in the Northwest iRacing Truck Series. And Dan Lowther is also there, 6 seconds back, battling for the lead as they go into turn number 3. Lowther wants the lead here at Kansas.
Lowther wants it, but he may have hit the wall there, Wesley, as Fournier slows down. Dan Lowther's going to come by and lead the lap, but he has damage on the right side. Fortunately for him, has not pitted yet, so he'll still be able to use that repair as he leads the lap. O'Hare is about to take the lead away from Dan Lowther in the 73.
And that was Kevin Smith that just went by Lowther's truck. He was a lap down, so now he's back on the lead lap. Here comes the leader, Stephen O'Hare. He will actually force his way around, not needing pit stops to get around Dan Lowther. Lowther will fall back to 2nd. That's the leader. And then the interval as Lowther comes to the pit lane is almost 9 seconds from Stephen O'Hare to Devin West, as he'll now move to 2nd at the stripe.
And now the question is, if this stays green, what kind of tire wear are we going to see out of the 41 versus the 5 and the 55? Remember, the 55 is on the freshest tires of the bunch.
For sure.
He's on the back of his son Devin right now. Stephen O'Hare has about 5 or 6 laps more than the West family. 8 seconds back right now. They are closing. It was 12 seconds at last check-in. Now it's down to 8 seconds. But if we stay green for a while, how long does this lead last? And on the flip side, if we catch a caution, what does that do?
Stephen O'Hare leading the way, 7 seconds back almost to Devin West. Dan West Jr. sits in third, Stab now fourth. How about Roy Grande? Taco Bell. He is in the top 5. Ole. Party time on this Thursday night for him.
Roy Grande, the Taco Bell Toyota. Have you tried that new grilled cheese burrito at Taco Bell, Wesley?
Negative.
Oh, it's so good.
I ran over the Taco Bell dog.
Why'd you do that? But seeing that Taco Bell Toyota of Roy Grande running in the 6th position right now, just getting the 5th position from Tyler King really makes me want another one of those grilled cheese burritos.
I've always been a fan of the empanadas. The empanadas. I've always been a fan of them.
They're good.
Yeah,
we need more food sponsors here.
The caramel, the caramel crusting in the.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting hungry. Yeah.
Yeah, we need more food sponsors here. We got Oranges, we got Taco Bell, Hooters,
Atari.
We can't eat an Atari.
I know we can play Atari games. Come on. Could you imagine an Atari iRacing broadcast or an Atari esports event from back in the day?
Lead is beginning to shrink. Devin West is now inside of 5 seconds on Stephen O'Hare. So, question asked, the fresh tires are definitely showing on the 5 and the 55, but they're causing a little bit of lap traffic right now, Wesley.
Don't ignore me, Greg. Don't ignore me, Greg. I think LSR TV should have like a throwback race and have like an Atari pole position broadcast. What do you think?
Hey, let's do it.
Back into turn number 3. There's father, son. They're 1 and 2, or 2 and 3 now. Son and father flip-flop those positions. Jeff Stab now 4 seconds behind the leader there of Stefano. About 10 laps to halfway. Stefano O'Hare looking for a win. Let me check my stats for the Northwestern iRacing Truck Series. And have we ever seen Stefano O'Hare win on the truck program? He has 1 win.
1 win at Texas.
1 win at Texas. That's exactly right.
That was actually the first truck race that I called here on LSR TV. So that one definitely stood out to me that Stephen O'Hare was able to pick up that win.
That was back in March 26th. So it's been a slump. It's been a while. He's looking to pull things around. And to be honest with you, Greg, Kansas is a lot like Texas.
Kind of, yeah. A little bit of a different
without the double dog leg. Just,
yep, no
just
dog
the single.
leg, just the classic oval, but there. Whoa, problems for Dan West Jr.
Oh,
Dan
no!
Jr. off the pace.
Thought Dan was about to drive through the apron, but he didn't. What a save. He'll hold on to second for third.
For now, but here comes Jeff Stabenow to the outside. West able to get it back up, but all of a sudden, something just went sour on the 55 for a second. Yo, not done yet. He got loose off turn 2 there, right in front of Jeff Stabenow. You think Jeff Stabenow was going, hey, what you doing there, buddy?
Jeff Stabenow, the man we were talking about, trying to run down Dan West Jr. for third, for second. And a battle for the lead now as Devin West is sizing up Stephen O'Hare for the lead. Sun West for LSR going back to the point. 7 laps to halfway. And the leader, 4th lead change. Devin West in 5. Devin West 9th in the points. Most recent race in Indianapolis advanced him 2 positions from 11th. He has 1 win on the season. 6 top 5s and 9 top 10s for the young man in the number 5 of Devin West. That victory came for his 1 and only win at Homestead. And that was back in April.
Wesley, Homestead, Miami, the win for Devin, but you mentioned 6 top 5s. How many of those was Devin West in contention for the win up until late in the going.
That's
so
true.
many coulda, woulda, shouldas for Devin West. He has been so impressive in this his rookie season.
And now we look at Jeff Stabnow battling with Stephen O'Hare. Here's some stats on Jeff Stabnow. Again, 5 wins. Most recently in Indianapolis, Dover, Darlington, 3 in a row. A win at Michigan, a win at Charlotte. Then he's got a win from there, along with 5 wins to match that for Stabnow in 15 races, 9 poles. Tonight would make 10, 9 top 5s and 12 top 10s. Literally, the difference of top 5s and top 10s has got the points battle between Stabnow and Dan West Jr. what it is, by 6 points.
Unbelievable. The points battle between West and Stabnow has been so much fun all year, and it's really been a season of momentum shift, Wesley. The first couple races of the season, it was the Dan West Jr. show.
Yes,
then
sir.
Stabnow started heating up right around the time you came in here to the Northwest Racing Series is when Stabnow started heating up. So no doubt Stabnow saying, hey, I'll give you a blank check. Here's whatever you want. Stay with us.
Let's talk about the driver of Dan West Jr. He's second in the 55. You just mentioned him. He's got 5 wins just like Jeff Stabnow. He won at Rockingham in March. A win in April at Atlanta. April at Charlotte Roval. Then he turned around and won at Richmond and Auto Club Speedway. That is the 5 victories that the driver has in truck number 55. Again, literally virtue of more top 5s and top 10s is the reason why you have the driver of Jeff Stabnow leading by 6 over Dan West Jr. John Odenbacher is 66 back in the points run. Ryan Maines is 3rd. Paulison is the top 5 as we watch them exit off the corner. We are closing in on halfway on this Thursday night for the Northwestern iRacing Truck Series. They're coming to the Cross Flags next time around. And what do you say? We feel the thunder of the trucks from Kansas. Little opportunity for you to take in the sights and sounds of the trucks there for just a couple of seconds. As they get ready to exit off the corner, Stephen Paulison, there he is in the 7th position. There's Roy Grande, Jim Bean, and Taco Bell battle with Jegs.
Trying to think of how you can spin that one. Have fun with that one.
We're just... John Odenbacher on the pit lane, the 89 truck. John Odenbacher has 1 win on the series.
On pit road is that number 89.
Yes. John Odenbacher was the inaugural winner this season for the Trucks Daytona. March 5th. Been a long way coming. Here's something to think about, though, Greg, as Odenbacher on pit road. A win at Daytona. Since then, a top 10, 8th and 6th place finish at Vegas and Rockingham. Then he kind of went on a slump, which included 13th at Texas, a 15th at Homestead, 11th at Bristol, 16th at Atlanta, 14th at Charlotte, 12th at Charlotte, at the Roval. Then he turned around, got him a 4th place finish at Michigan, 5th at Richmond, 5th at Auto Club, 3rd at Darlington a couple of weeks ago, 6th at Dover, and a 14th place finish. So he's kind of had a roller coaster up and down year for Odenbacher, as we see O'Hare and King on pit road too.
Yeah, O'Hare, the guy who pitted early and off sequence last time to start off the pit cycle on pit road yet again. Getting rolling now, Tyler King in the number 44 podium last week, spun on pit road.
Wow.
Tyler King just spun on pit road exit. No caution, but wow, that was, we had something happen, Wesley.
Something exciting finally. Stephen O'Hare. And you got to wonder, did he flat spot the tires? Let's take a look at the replay of the 41 as he exited off of pit road in his truck. Some of the excitement that we have, at least that, we can at least show you a replay of. Here comes Stephen O'Hare. Greg, you called it.
Off pit road, I was watching the 41, went to look over at the 44 and saw him facing the wrong way. Like, oh, hey, that is not supposed to happen. He's got some damage on the right front of that truck as well. Not sure if that's from that or a hit to the wall earlier.
Oh, it was Tyler King. There was 44 Tyler King that's the one that spun on the apron. Okay.
Tyler King spinning out on the apron in the 44. Meanwhile, hey, we got a battle for the lead. West is going after West. Daddy West is closing in on Devin down to 0.3 of a second. Trying to breathe down his son's neck right now and get that lead back. Seen this time and time again. Devin West leading, Dan West Jr. tracking him down for second. 0.2 of a second the gap right now. Devin with a good run through 1 and 2 there, Wesley.
Thank you to Drockers. He says, Wesley, the voice of esports. I appreciate that, but there's a lot of other great people on the crew as well. So back into turn number 3 and 4 in just a moment. We watched them exit 1 and 2, and I'll tell you what, Greg, we've set this up again. It's father, son, father, and Stab now still 3 seconds back as we get ready for the second half of this race here at Kansas.
So into the second half of this 134 lap race at Kansas Speedway in Kansas City, Kansas. Devin West out there leading with Dan West Jr. in second. Jeff Stab now third, 3.3 seconds back, and then it's a long ways back to Chris White, 19 seconds back to 4th place right now.
Top 10, 75 of 134 here for the Kansas 200 on LSR TV. Devin West, Dan West Jr., son and father 1 and 2. Jeff Stab now the points leader is 3rd. Chris White 4th. Sean Brightsman is in 5th. Stephen Paulison is 6th. 7th is Kevin Smith. 8th is Corey Walters. Roy Grande, what do you know, the Taco Bell Hooters bunch right there with each other again. And 10th, Atari, Ryan Maines.
Nice run for Ryan Maines after a roller coaster of a day so far, Wesley. Final truck on the lead lap. Up in the 5th spot after starting 14th. Fell back off and on pit road. Some damage on the right rear, but here he is, still riding in the top 10. Oh, smoke, caution! We have a caution, Corey Walters, and I believe Kevin Smith.
Hooters and Jags trucks sponsors into the grass, and the caution will come out for the 3rd time after a long green flag run that lasted almost 67 laps. Caution is out. Greg, you called it on the back straightaway going to 3 and 4.
I was watching, forget who I was watching, but all of a sudden I saw smoke. I was watching Ryan Maines. All of a sudden I saw smoke off turn 4. Corey Walters and the 00 of Kevin Smith just come together. Smith caught the wall off turn 4, and Corey Walters nowhere to go.
They'll be coming to pit road. Coming to pit road. I know they will. Wow. Green got in to Smith as well, and then Brightsman got collected. Paulison gets collected. This was under caution.
What in the world?
Wow.
This
was a secondary caution. This was besides the Corey Walters and Grande accident. Or Kevin Smith accident.
Kevin Smith just turned right.
Let's see this again. This is a secondary yellow. Here's a look at the first caution. Kevin Smith and Corey Walters. We'll see what happens. Smith in the wall, tags the 9 of Walters. They spin down in the tribal grass as he messes up the paint job there with no green, and that's Kevin Smith's the first caution. That's what the yellow came out for, Greg. And then Kevin Smith and a host of other trucks involved in another caution under yellow here at Kansas.
Yeah, Kevin Smith slow on the racetrack, getting going, just turned right.
And here is a look now at the second caution, which, suffice to say, Greg Rentz, was a lot worse than the first one for Kevin Smith and company. And this is what happened. He shot back up the speedway, tagged Tom Green. Tom Green snagged and got hit by Brightsman. Then Paulison plowed into him. Just simply climbed the banking.
And the top 5 truck in Sean Brightsman is on pit road getting repairs.
And here comes pit road open. Greg, they're going to be coming to the pits.
So on pit road. So definitely turning the entire race on its lid here, Wesley, as all of a sudden a crash in the middle of the pack suddenly leads to a truck in the top 5 being out of contention for the win as Brightsman has to tow back.
A lot of heavy hitters on the pit lane coming for surface. Stephen O'Hare, Tyler King. Also, Dan Lowther, Kevin Smith with damage. Paulison, Brightsman, obviously. Free pass will go to Dana Rogers. Dana Rogers will go back. And I'm going to try to see if we can grab Kevin Smith real quickly and get his thoughts of what happened as we go under the caution flag. Greg, I'm going to try to grab Kevin Smith here real quick.
Wesley going to check in with Kevin Smith. Cars or trucks still cycling down pit road. Devin West, Dan West Jr., Jeff Stab now. Your top 3, then Chris White. Corey Walters will be scored in the 5th position, even despite being caught up in that incident. So we'll see what happens here with that, being caught up in the incident, but being scored in the 5th position is that number 9 of Corey Walters. Then you got Taco Bell Roy Grande right behind him. Stephen O'Hare, fresh tires on that 41 truck, as he had already been on pit road before that. That's the reason for this extended caution. They are trying to sort out the lineup. Working lap 80 of 134 here at Kansas.
Kevin Smith, LSR TV, you got a copy?
I do.
Man, what happened out there? I know you had the incident with you and Walters, and then you shot back up the racetrack. What was going through your mind when you had the pack virtually coming at you?
Just chasing the truck. I got free off of 3 and was chasing it. And you know, you got guys grouped together, and it's hard for them to get out of the way when I'm chasing it. But I feel bad for them.
How badly damaged is the 00 truck?
It's wounded. I got to come into the pits here and get some stuff taken care of for sure.
All right, that's the thoughts of Kevin Smith. Again, a tough break there for the driver in the 00. And again, not once, but twice circumstance of cautions here at Kansas. A tough break there for the 00. And if you want to be honest with you, Greg, this is the 3rd time he's been a part of the wreck. He was in the original yellow.
Yeah, tough break there for Kevin Smith. So much speed in that 00 truck, Wesley, just hasn't had the racers luck go his way.
Commercial time as we're still under caution here at Kansas. West Jr., Stab now, top 3. Back with more in a moment. for the restart here at Kansas. Lap 82 of 134, and Devin West gets a jump on Daddy and Stabnow as they go back to 1 here at Kansas.
Stabnow trying to get a run on the inside of West for the 2nd spot. But Devin able to clear him right now. Chris White, Corey Walters caught him in that accident in 5th right now. Brian Mayne's able to get back up there as well. 9 trucks on the lead lap. The last one is the 11 of Frank Harris.
Here they come on the bottom, and look at this. We got trouble. Trucks wrecking on the entrance of 4. They are still crashing. They have literally turned each other almost 1 or 2 times. 62. Rick Heffley's involved. So is also the 07 of Dana Rogers. That's the female, the new female of the Northwestern Racing Series. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Dana Rogers is the guy. My apologies. And we have a caution on the racetrack.
Oh, boy. Caution on the speedway.
What's the female's name that was here last week?
Going back, I think her name was Violet.
Violet. It is Violet Miller, I think it might have been.
Yeah,
Violet Miller. Yes. Huh. Well, this one has got Cheech and Chong riding with him. That's Dana Rogers, as he got plowed into by the 62 of Rick Heffley in the old throwback Davey Allison Haviland colors. And we go quickly under caution. Now, here's the thing. As those trucks wrecked each other, we had trucks go to pit road. Smart for those pit stops, Greg, or do you think it's going to hurt them?
Oh, no, I would pit right now. I was honestly surprised more guys didn't pit there on their last one, so I definitely would have pitted now. I'm more surprised Dan West Jr. stayed out in the 55. Devin West back in the 6th position. So all kinds of different stuff now in this one, Wesley.
Caution out. 84 of 134 laps. We'll take a quick break on LSR TV, your home of sim racing. Back with more from Kansas in a moment.
We're based out of West Monroe, Louisiana. We do custom t-shirts, racing. We'll do actually any shirt. We'll do schools, churches, fundraisers. We do a ton of event shirts, as you can see on our board here, all around our banner. Personalized, I mean, we'll do anything. It doesn't matter to us. We got the custom rugs. We use all the, top quality shirts, inks and everything, hoodies, hats. We do embroidered hats, embroidered shirts. Just you can call us for anything. We do offer the bag and fold, to where we, you can receive them and they're already labeled and tagged and bagged, ready to give out to your customer and stuff. So you can just call us and just tell us, hey, this is what we're looking at doing, and if we're going to put the car on there, it is 125 quantity minimum. If it's without the car, it's 60 quantity minimum. That's strictly on the racing stuff. If it's a business or something, if you race on Texas shirts, it's a little bit differently. You can call us. It just depends on your quantity and ink color. Everything is hand drawn. I mean, everything. We don't Photoshop anything onto a shirt or anything like that. Everything that we go through, everything is drawn, and which is the reason for the art fees. We do have several graphic artists that draw for us, and they're really good. So what we do is on any package that you do, we can mix and match. We can do any colors. You can do purple, red, blue, green, and do the rest black. It doesn't matter to us. With your design on there, we can do hoodies. We can do hoodies, long sleeve shirts, t-shirts, tank tops. It doesn't matter. I mean, it's almost limitless what you can do, and you can put all that together in that package to make that minimum requirements. They can call us 318-278-7191, or they can email us at bulletprooftees@yahoo.com, or they can go to the website bulletprooftees.com.
Getting ready for the restart. Lights are off on the pace car here. This is the wrap-up of coverage on this Thursday night on LSR TV with the Northwestern iRacing Truck Series. Greg Wentz, Wesley Outland, production on the side with, of course, Cody Wooten and BJ Duval. Hey, don't forget, racing action kicks back off on LSR TV Sunday night with the Adrenaline iRacing League. Join yours truly, Wesley Outland, in the booth with Devin Henry for the race at Bristol. It should be wild. It's Bristol, baby, before the All-Star race. That's on Sunday night. Monday night, the iRacing continues with the Northwestern iRacing Cup Series from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. That will be at 11 o'clock Eastern Time on LSR TV. Wednesday night, the World of Thunder iRacing League. Join BJ Duval and Chris Dunn for that call, along with Cody Wooten. The Race Gen Series X program on Thursday night before the trucks tonight, like here at LSR TV, your home of sim racing. So there's the coverage of all throughout the week. Here we come, back for the restart, Greg. And Dan West Jr., the man pouncing on the field as he brings it back to green in turn number 1.
He got a big jump, Wesley. Look at Corey Walters up into the second spot after getting caught up in an accident just a few laps ago. He is broken through for second, as Devin West trying to get up there as well. Remember, West was one of the fastest cars all day, led a good chunk of the middle portion of this race. Oh, Walters with a big slide.
Wow.
Connection issues as well. Move Devin back to the lead, and Dan West Jr. slowing down again off turn number 4 as the rest of the field comes up on him.
We are having net issues on the number 9 of Corey Walters as he now scampers up the banking on the outside. And what do you know? Hooters and Taco Bell together. Walters and Grande on the top shelf as they exit 2. Olé! Greg, are you there?
Dan West Jr. still leading. Corey Walters in second. Or actually, Corey Walters was scored in second the previous lap, has fallen back to 5th in that number 9 car after that was all said and done. Ryan Maines there in the 13. Sean Breitzman trying to make his way back up. Breitzman's being scored 2 laps down, still trying to get up there, Wesley.
Down the back straightaway they go. And again, right now we're looking at Corey Walters now go to the top 5. Ryan Maines now will go to 5th in the 13. And Stephen O'Hare and Chris White battle for that position for 3rd and 4th. Look at this battle. 4 trucks, 5 trucks, maybe more. Off of turn number 1, Amore. Atari entry up the racetrack with Maines, Breitzman, Walters, Green, King, Grande, all in this mix. Look at this.
Unbelievable battling going on here. Wow, Stab now with a big slide there off of turn number 2, trying to get around Paulson. I believe that was Stab now.
It was.
Yes, it was.
It was. Bounced off of there with those trucks as they come off the corner. It bounced off of Paulson and Lowther there. You now got a great battle between, what is it, 5th on back all the way to the 11th or 10th.
Hey, and that starts off with Taco Wings. They
Yes,
found
sir.
each other once again.
Here we go. Grande and Walters. Taco Bell and Hooters.
Orange is in front of them. Orange Taco Wings, yay or nay? I say nay. Grande gets around Walters. That's for 6. Stab now trying to get up here in the 24 truck. Meanwhile, up front, lap traffic beginning to play a role up here as Dan West is kind of pinned a little bit behind Kevin Smith, who moves over to let them go. Devin is caught back up. How about Stephen O'Hare back in the mix in the 41? He's in 3rd.
A good run for that driver as this race continues on here. What a run. What a run for the driver of Dan West Jr. Sitting 2nd, 3rd is Devin West, Stephen O'Hare. Stab now mired all the way back in traffic in 7th. And again, Stephen O'Hare now licking his chops to try to make something happen on Devin West. His son is right there, as behind him is dad leading the way, going back to 3. Father, son, O'Hare, 1, 2, and 3. That battle heats up in 3 now.
Battle heating up, going on. Meanwhile, O'Hare right there in the catbird seat, ready to go for second. Here it is. His move to the inside of Devin West. He might get a 2 for 1 if he can make it stick.
He'll try. Another lap on the board here will size him up off the corner. Bottom of the apron. There you see Dana Rogers going a lap down now. Third, 4 laps down. Now, as here comes Dan West Jr. O'Hare, everyone, the West family driving to the apron. Looks like maybe O'Hare can find something to work on the top shelf as they go into 1 and 2 for third.
He's trying to make that outside lane work. Remember, we were talking to Stabnow before the race. He said it was probably going to be the high line that most of the action was happening, and we saw it right there out of O'Hare trying to make the move. He's going to make the inside work, though, this time. He may clear him in turn 3 and 4. Yes, he will. Second place, Stephen O'Hare. Crossover by Devin.
Back to turn number 1 and 2. Whoa! West is just closed in on O'Hare. Shut the door on him.
That is called door slamming by Devin West right there.
What a move.
Devin's now trying to track back down his father. Coming up on a little bit over 30 to go. We're coming up on lap 100. We're about a lap and a half away from 100, Wesley. So we're getting it down to nitty-gritty time here. 9 trucks on the lead lap. First truck 1 lap down is the 63 of Dan Lowther, has had an up and down race in that number 63. He's locked in a battle with James Vining. The side-by-side battle coming off turn 4 right now. This is for the lucky dog position, and Lowther caught the wall right there.
Lowther off the wall. Lowther had a top 10 there, and here comes the Cat Man. I know it looks like he's in a station wagon, but he's always the Cat Man to me.
James Vining in the 333, pulling away now from Dan Lowther. The 58 of Collison is an extra lap down over the 333. That's not for position. Finding the lucky dog right now if we get a caution, which I don't know if it's going to happen because we saw that long green flag run. We are working lap 100, but here's Dan West Jr., Devin West, and Stephen O'Hare. They're trying to pull away from the rest of the field. They've opened up 2.8 seconds over Chris White now.
A century grind completed here at Kansas. 34 laps to go next time by. In the Kansas 200 on LSR TV, Wesley Outland, Greg Rentz, BJ Duvall, Cody Wooten on production. As this race roars along, Dan West Jr. looking to be the all-time winner in the series so far this year with 6 wins. He is right now over 6th place Jeff Stabnow, and the laps dwindle away. Lap 101, Dan West, Sun West, 1 and 2, back to 3.
Jeff Stabnow, though, 5 wins in the last 7 for that number 24 truck. He is in 6th right now, trying to reel in Ryan Maines, who's putting pressure on Chris White right now. We're going to have a battle for 4th place here momentarily as Maines is taking a peak low.
There goes it's the Chris White and Maines for that spot. Finn O'Hare, Brightsman's there. Man, here's something to think about. You got White and Maines for 4th and 5th. Sean Brightsman is in front of them, 2 laps down.
Yeah, Sean Brightsman, remember, Wesley, he was caught up in that accident. He was a top 5 truck before that happened. So you know that 46 has a lot of speed in it. So trying to get back up and get at least 1 lap back and try to put himself in a position he can get a lucky dog if in the case of a caution.
On the pit lane, Dan Lowther outside the top 10 and 11th as we still see Chris White and Ryan Maines battle for that position. Lap truck in front again is the driver of Sean Brightsman, who at one point was up at the front. There is the leaders, 1 and 2 into third. West O'Hare. We mentioned Chris White and Ryan Maines, but they're mired all the way in the back, at least 4 or 5 seconds, with lap traffic of Brightsman in the mist off the corner on the back straightaway.
Now Devin West trying to pull a run on Dan off the backstretch, but Dan was able to pull away a little bit there, so open the door a little bit for the 55 as O'Hare is still hanging back there ready to go in case something happens with either the 5 or the 55.
Here comes Grande sizing up King, and there goes Jeff Stabnow. Late race strategy on the pit lane. This could be the money stop for the Waltz Beard Co. LSR TV number 24. The man from Montana, 48 years old, just celebrated a birthday last Monday, is on the pit lane. Could he be playing possum with the rest of the field in his Ford and even on Team LSR TV, Greg?
It could be. Team LSR TV 1, 2, 3 right now on the track. Jeff Stabnow, who was the winner last week on pit road, started on the pole, Wesley, but hasn't led a whole lot tonight. I don't think he's led a lap tonight, has he?
He led the opening 2 laps, 2 or 3 laps. He was the pole truck, if you remember.
So Stabnow, remember, he caught the wall on the initial start and just hasn't really been able to fully recover since then. Top 3, though. I'm so impressed with this top 3 snake right now of West Jr., West, and O'Hare. So impressed with how they've been able to just stay in line and pull away from the rest of the field. Now 4.4 seconds over Chris White and Ryan Maines.
Roy Grande, the Taco Bell entries on pit lane, and so is Tom Green. Late race pit stops, money stops, gambling to try to pull an upset here. The same as on pit road for the 18, Greg.
So Taco Bell on pit road. Such a good run for Roy Grande tonight. Wesley up in the top 10 all day, staying out of trouble. Back in the Taco Bell truck, which we haven't seen in a few weeks. We saw him run Baja Blast. We saw a new scheme last week. That was awesome, the new paint scheme he ran last week. But back in the old classic and looking very strong today.
Got a good run going for him. Look at this. What a camera angle there, showing him off of turn 4. Awesome work there by Cody and BJ. Showing the leaders exiting, roaring off the corner. That was vintage TV production right there. They give you a props and a star, Cody, as we watch Dan West Jr. and those guys come off the corner. And a cookie.
Our producers making other requests in our ear. Closing stages of this one now, Wesley. Top 3 have broken away, and it's so much fun watching these 3. And it's kind of the high-speed game of chess right now that we talk about with racing. Who's going to make the first move? Who's going to make the big move? What's going to happen in these closing laps? We're about to find out. Lap 111 on the board.
Well, there you see Devin West, Stephen O'Hare playing peekaboo with one another. You go to the inside, I'm going to go to the outside. Nope, they're going to stay on the top shelf together and stay behind Daddy. Daddy to the inside. This opens up the outside for Devin West. He's peeking his Chevrolet Silverado. A run to the outside, to the apron. Can he get him? Oh, I don't know. Dan West Jr. will chop him off. Crossover and a slide job there off into turn 1.
Didn't have him clear, though. He had to give him room because the nose was still there, and you're going to see it right here. Devin's going to get the run on the outside, try to bring O'Hare with him. Dan West Jr. is going to fall to 3rd.
All 3 of these trucks have led in the early going. And now in the late rally, here we go again. Devin West to the lead. Stephen O'Hare to 2nd. Dan West Jr. falling back to 3rd. Ryan Maines, how about the truck 13? He's in 4th. Chris White 5th. Good run for these trucks here at Kansas as we come to the home stretch of this event.
Dan West Jr. is losing ground, Wesley. He has fallen back. 0.4 of a second was the distance that time, and it's growing even more. Did something happen to the 55 that caused him to suddenly lose his forward momentum?
Corey Walters, Hooters truck on pit road. He's thinking chicken wing stop here for the home stretch as the money stop. Dan West Jr. alongside with Tom Green as they battle for that spot inside the top 15 down the back straightaway, Greg.
It's 1.2 seconds now, Wesley, so I'm wondering if the tires are shot now on the 55, as it's now a two-horse battle up front. Devin West and Stephen O'Hare, two drivers with one win on the season, looking for win number 2. Both the 5 and the 41. They're side by side for the lead.
For the lead, back to 1. Stephen O'Hare to the inside up the racetrack. Devin West down to the bottom, lap traffic with Tom Green. They're gonna go 3 wide. Tom Green, get out of the way. You're 5 laps down. Let the leaders race. Let them race. Tom Green to the inside. And here comes Devin West on pit road.
Oh, he slid. He slid to slow it down.
Wow. We've seen that happen also to Dan West before. Remember when he cost him at Charlotte?
So Devin pulling down pit road. One of the strongest trucks in the field. Led a big chunk of the middle portion of the race on pit road. Sliding in for 4 Mr. Feelgoods and a splash of fuel to get into the finish.
My question is this, though, Greg. Are they making these pit stops just to go for the pit stops to have fresher tires? Because I really thought with 30 laps to go, when we had that last caution, they could have went to the finish.
You could have made it, so you might just be getting those fresh tires, because Devin probably knew Stabnow was on fresher tires. He's a lap down still, but Devin probably thought, you know what, I can stay out another 10 laps or so. I can get fresher tires to take his advantage away. He's going to even beat Stabnow off the track. He was so far ahead of him, so this might work out perfect for Devin West. I think now Stabnow's kind of stuck right now. He's not in the lucky dog position.
The tire and fuel cycle is between 35 to 48 laps. That's what our stat guy was just telling us in our ear. 35 to 48 laps before they have to change tires and take on fuel. We have now 4 trucks on the lead lap. Devin West is also a lap down. If the caution was to come out, he'd get the free pass. He is now 20+ seconds back behind the leader, O'Hare. Do you gamble, Stephen O'Hare, and go for the win? The pits as well, guys. What do you think, Greg?
No, if you're in a position, you're already in the playoffs, you can take a gamble. I think Stephen O'Hare goes for it. Maybe that's what Dan West Jr. is doing. Maybe he's saving in case of the 41 perhaps not being able to make it. So if you're Stephen O'Hare, I say go for it. See what happens here.
Stephen O'Hare in that 41 truck has not won since March the 26th. Race 3 of the year at Texas. He has then been on a roller coaster ride of up and down finishes in that number 41. And now, after a 6th place finish at Indianapolis last Thursday night, he's gambling, cashing in all his chips, putting it all on the line to stay out in front. How about Ryan Maines? Look at the run Ryan Maines has going for him in truck number 13. Ryan Maines, best finish, if he gets a runner-up finish tonight or better, will be recently a 2nd, and that was at Michigan. So if he finishes in 2nd, he'll tie his best finish back in May at Michigan with a 2nd place run. And Grande, look at a run for him. He's now a lap down, but he's in the top 5 and 6th.
He's trying to catch up to the 41 of O'Hare to unlap himself, which Devin West just was able to do. So Grande will now be the lucky dog in case of a caution.
And remember, That is the 6th place truck, so 5 trucks on the lead lap. Do you gamble? I'm sorry, guys. I don't think O'Hare, Maines, or Dan West are going to pit. I really don't see it.
I don't think so. I think they're going to go for it. So if you're Stephen O'Hare, I think you got to go for it.
Now, if they get a caution, Katie bar the door.
Oh, that's
a wild finish here in Kansas.
Of this race.
That will be like a twister roaring through here and running away, blowing away Toto. But if that doesn't happen, Stephen O'Hare, the 10-man or the scarecrow of Kansas here tonight and win this event in truck 41.
He very well could, Wesley. Very well could. Looking very strong right now in that number 41. 5.8 right now over Ryan Maines in second. Dan West Jr. is falling back to 13 seconds in a hurry. Remember, he was leading this race not so long ago, so I'm not so sure if West is saving or if there is a problem with that 55. As he is really, really slow on the track in turn 3, Wesley. That's not saving. That's a problem.
Ten laps to go. Here, Kansas. Stephen O'Hare leading the way, hitting his marks. Ryan Maines in second. What a great run for him. And Dan West Jr. 16 seconds back in third. We saw a truck with smoke. That's Dana Rogers in the 07 in front of him.
Remember, Rogers was caught up in an earlier incident. A lot of damage on that 07 Ford F-150.
Off of turn number 2 to the back straightaway. James Vining, props to the Cat Man. He's in that Toyota wagon tonight, but man, a good run for him. A top 10 in the 333. I'm happy for for James Vining tonight, for sure.
Oh, absolutely. Great run for James Vining in the 333. Up in the top 10, 2 laps down, but very much in a good position for a top 10 right now. Next up is Sean Breisman, who's about a second and a half behind him right now. So still work to do for the 333 to hold up the 46 as we are coming up 10 laps to go. This time by, can Stephen O'Hare get win number 2? 10 to go at the line, Wesley.
What a run. This is all coming down to the wire, down the back straightaway. The man leading the way, Dan West Jr. Look at this number 26 entry. You have a replay here. We have a replay for Dan West Jr. Something happened to him. We'll have to figure out what went wrong here in the 55 truck. Oh my goodness, Greg, I didn't even notice it.
He's been really, really slowing down, Wesley. It's 23 seconds. He's the last truck on the lead lap. 26 seconds. He's 3 seconds slower than the race leader right now.
I'm not sure what we just looked at. I think he's just off the pace. Wow. Understanding he possibly might be out of fuel.
He's
being told he might be out of fuel in the 55.
He's trying to limp it around as long as he possibly can.
Wow.
Laps clicking away. Lap 129 now for Stephen O'Hare. Can he make it?
Stephen O'Hare. 5 laps to go here at Kansas. There he is. He's about to lap Dan West Jr. Dan West Jr. has now dropped back to 30 plus seconds back to the leader. You just seen him. He's literally in the tail view of the leader O'Hare. And there's Grande. Grande is in 6th. He's on the lead lap. If he gets a caution, he's in business.
Trying to hold on to it is O'Hare. Can he make it the distance? Inside of 5 laps to go. Here he comes on Dan West Jr. into number 55.
We were talking about Stephen O'Hare. His most recent win was at Texas. It's a 1.5 miles. This track, though not a double dog leg, but just the tri-oval, is a cookie cutter track, as they say in the racing terminology, 1.5 miles. Off of turn number 1 and 2, 3 laps to go. Stephen O'Hare, 6 seconds back to Ryan Maines as they go to the back straightaway here.
Ryan Maines in second, could be a career best, a tie of the career best for that 13th. Started 14th in second, 6.4, but you know he's up there wondering the fuel situation on that 41.
Coming.
3 to go.
The 3 to go at the line. You're exactly right. Katie, bar the door, ladies and gentlemen. Late race caution. It'll change everything. If not, this man is O'Hare's night. Lap 83 was the last time he came to the pits. You see the
Right
difference
on.
there.
Oh.
Do you see that? Lap
yeah.
83 to lap 77 is when Dan West Jr. pitted, and he's literally trying to conserve fuel all he can.
1 lap down now in that 55.
Who to go?
Stephen O'Hare just trying to limp it to the finish here. Does he have enough fuel for 2 more miles around this track?
Dropping to the inside. Turn number 3. He'll exit off of turn number 4. Back to the start finish line, bottom of the apron. White flag in the air. 1 more lap to go. Final lap for Stephen O'Hare in turn 1, Greg Rance.
Tyler King has fell out of the server on the last lap, his teammate, but Stephen O'Hare coming off turn number 2, trying to limp it back. It's 6.3 back to Ryan Maines. If he can make it through here, he can coast.
Noticing he is coasting. He has dropped off speed, but I think he could coast it from here. He's not won since Texas back in March. Win number 2 for the Northwest Truck Series for Stephen O'Hare in 41. Second spot on a fuel mile gamble will go to Ryan Maines as he'll cross the line for his second best finish in a row for second place. Tied, Devin West will come back and finish 3rd. Ray Forner, what a finish for him in 4th. And Roy Grande, the top 5 here at Kansas, Greg. Wow.
He got it done. Stephen O'Hare made it work. Number 41, win number 2 on the season. It comes here at Kansas. 2 wins on 1.5 miles here for Stephen O'Hare this season, Wesley.
What a job. What a job for the man there in truck number 41. I know it's going to be special. What a phenomenal job. Played the fuel mileage gamble, and he let it pay off when it counted the most. Stephen O'Hare, Ryan Maines, Devin West, the top 3. What a good run here. A strategy down to the wire.
It worked out for Stephen O'Hare. Win number 2 on the year. Just 5 trucks on the lead lap at the end of this one.
Ryan Maines, again, as we mentioned, second place, at least for the driver there in his truck. And Devin West, again, trying so hard to be there, but just coming up short in his truck as well. Coming up, the Clan War Servers post-race wrap-up as we put a tip of the cap on tonight's event here at Kansas. But first, let's take a look at the finishing results of the Kansas 200. Coming up, we'll grab an interview with our top 3. Stephen O'Hare, 6 seconds in serving fuel. Lap 77 was the last time. Stab now, Dan West Jr. pitted. Excuse me, not Stab now. Dan West Jr. pitted. Stephen O'Hare pitted on lap 83. That was the equalizer in winning this race. What do you think, Greg?
Yeah, great job by O'Hare making the gamble work. Stephen O'Hare getting the win.
Ryan Maines, second. Devin West, third. We'll talk to them here in a minute. Forner. How about Ray Forner? Fourth.
Great run for
Roy
Fournier.
Grande. What a run for him. You're exactly right, Bobby
Gets his-
Bergstrom. What a
Gets
good
his
run for him,
second-
Greg.
Yeah, second top 5 for Roy Grande this season, a second at Bristol. And I think that's Ray Fournier's first top 5 of the season.
Stabnow's quest for 4 in a row will go in here tonight with 6th. Dan West Jr. going right behind him at 7th. Chris White, Indianapolis Cup Series winner at 8th. Corey Walters 9th. And how about that man in the Toyota wagon? James Van Vining will finish 10th. Lowther, Blessed Ottenbacher, and the rest of the rundown here from 18th. Look at the rest of the rundown of the 20-plus starters as we look at Dana Rogers, 18th. And the rest of the rundown there on the 23rd. Well, Greg, I'm going to let you go, buddy, but real quickly, what's your closing thoughts?
Great race, big win for Stephen O'Hare. Great job playing the fuel mileage game and finally breaking through, snapping that streak of some bad luck. Got it done tonight.
A phenomenal job for sure. A fuel mileage gamble pays off, and when it comes down to the wire, it was a great race here at Kansas. What a great job. Celebration time for Stephen O'Hare. Gonna step away. When we come back, the Clan Wars Servers post-race wrap-up on LSR TV, your home of sim racing.
This broadcast is the copyright.
Well, before we cue up the disclaimer, we do have to finish up interviews. Welcome back to the Clan Wars Servers, the Clan Wars Servers post-race wrap-up. Clan Wars Servers is the official communications partner of all of LSR TV coverage. Greg Rentz has stepped away to get a nightcap and prepare for his regular 9-to-5 job. So I'm Wesley Outland. We'll carry out the broadcast for the rest of the way. Also, awesome production by Will Duvall and Cody Wooten. Hey, the winner, Stephen O'Hare. It's been since March that he won at Texas Motor Speedway. One of the things, Stephen, that I was talking about was this track's a lot similar to Texas without the double dog leg, but it's a mile and a half. It's kind of a cookie cutter track. You won at Texas. You've been on kind of a roller coaster ride since then. You win here tonight at Kansas. Talk about the win in 41.
Yeah, it was a great run. I think we had a pretty strong truck. 24, 55, and 5 were pretty quick. So it was just a matter of kind of hanging with them, and then tried some strategy, and it didn't work out for us at first. Got lapped down there, got the lucky dog, and started in the back, and it caught up in a little incident. So used the fast repairs and got some track position back, and from there I had the fuel to outrun everybody. So it worked out. The American touch-up F-150 was fast, and it lasted to the end.
Describe this uphill battle you've had recently. I mean, since I've come on board being lead play-by-play announcer for the trucks, you've been caught up in wrecks, mechanical problems, handling issues. How did everything just perfectly work together with the best ingredients to bake that perfect cake and put that truck into victory lane tonight?
Yeah, well, we moved shops a while ago, and there were some bugs to work out, just equipment-wise. So we kind of got that figured out. We've had some bad luck. But tonight, we're chatting with the 44 and said it's time to buckle down, focus on the race, and it worked out. So really, really pleased with another win, and hopefully, down the stretch we'll have something for the 24 and 55.
Was there ever a time, final question, was there ever a time that you were worried about running out of fuel? Now, the reason why I say is this. The last time we had seen Dan West Jr. come to pit road was on lap 77. You pitted on lap 83. Was you ever worried about running out of fuel?
No. I started saving, so I was just I was worried about saving tires, honestly. So I was just kind of cruising there in the tire tracks of the 5, and I saw Dan peel off, and I knew he was going to start saving fuel. So at that point, I figured, well, the pressure's off. I can ease up, save my tires, and save fuel. And so it worked out, worked in my favor.
Well, congratulations, man. Celebrate it, and we'll see you Monday for the Cup Series at Las Vegas.
Awesome.
Good job. His second win on the Northwestern iRacing Truck Series from Texas to Kansas. Yeah, it's kind of ring to it. Driver Stephen O'Hare in truck number 41. Second place going to Ryan Maines. Ryan Maines has now tied his best finish in the Northwest iRacing Truck Series with second. Ryan coming so close for that win. Was you ready to see O'Hare run out of gas and put truck 13 to victory lane?
I was hoping. The numbers were close enough, but I was confident. My truck was really good on the long run, so I just put the sail out and hoped he was really quick out of the box, so I couldn't keep up with him on fresh tires, and I was just hoping he'd run dry and give it to me.
You have had some pretty unique paint schemes for wraps along the way. What came up with the idea of having an Atari truck?
When the 87s came out, Atari was one of the first ideas that came out, and I took a modification I did on that and drug it over to the truck, and it turned out pretty well.
What can you take out of this race finish tonight to help you propel to have a better season coming up here as we work to the summer?
Survival. It's always about survival. I've had horrible luck several races, and you got to finish to finish good, and that's always the goal. So I've been ducking. I was actually lucky enough to duck a few wrecks this time around. Hopefully that can continue.
Well, a good job for you, bud. That's Ryan Maines in Trucker 13. You got anybody you want to thank?
Walls Beard Co. and LSR TV. Always nice to have you guys watching, and Walls has been sponsoring this series since it started, and it's always been enjoyable running with these guys.
It has. It's been a fun ride for sure. Ryan Maines ties his best finish at second tonight here at Kansas. And finally, third place, Devin West in the number 5 entry for LSR TV. You will settle in your truck for third. Some scrapes, some bumps and bangs, scratches on the wall along the way. Even a fuel mileage gamble. You had to come to the pits, but you salvaged third place.
Yeah, I mean, I'll set up third again, but it's starting to get a little bit frustrating. Trying to find that extra little bit of speed to go and get those multiple wins within this and really get momentum going in the playoffs. So, yeah, it was a good race. I'm across to Steph and Ryan. That's good on their part to play strategy like that and not only have fast trucks, but also have enough fuel to get to the end. So, I wasn't wanting to set initial caution with lap 50 to go, but lap 80. So that kind of sucked, and then I dipped below that line and restart and had to come back down the pit road on the green, which also sucked. But get third after all that is a pretty good night, so I'll take it.
So your dad stayed out. You had to pit. You pitted with the strategy of Jeff Stabnow. Was that what the plan was?
If you're talking about that last restart there, me and Jeff both came down below the yellow or white line on that restart, and unfortunately that's a penalty, so we had to survey on the green.
Oh, you got penalized. That's what happened. So you just went ahead and made a pit stop out of the deal.
Yeah, I had to come down on the green, which that's why I started back there in fifth, kind of number deal. It happens. You learn.
Well, I'll tell you what, to come back from a penalty to come back to finish third, that's pretty good.
Yeah, definitely happy to race. But congrats to Stefan, congrats to Ryan. Hoping they run on gas, but obviously didn't. So good race though.
All right, buddy. Thank you very much. All right. That's the drivers of Devin West in truck number 5. He will finish in 3rd. Ryan Maines will finish in 2nd spot. And Stephen O'Hare will take the victory there as things wrap up here tonight from Kansas. Hey, coming up, coverage continues all week long as we wrap up this week's coverage on LSR TV. Remember, if you would like to get broadcast productions for dirt, pavement, you name it, whether it's modified, sprint cars, late models, cup cars, trucks, Indy cars, road course, doesn't matter. Contact Cody Wooten. They'll make it happen for you. LiveSimRacing.com and, of course, LSR TV on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to jump into our broadcast lineup. There are some slots available. With that being said, our next coverage will be Sunday night with the Adrenaline iRacing League from Bristol. You don't want to miss it. 300 laps of racing. Yours truly, along with Devin Henry in the broadcast booth from Bristol on Sunday. Next Monday night, it is the Northwest iRacing Cup Series from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Greg Rentz tonight, along with Justin Prince, myself on pit road for that. On Wednesday night, the World of Thunder, BJ Duval, Cody Wooten, and Chris Nunn for that program. Then next Thursday, the Race X Gen Series, along with the Northwest iRacing Truck Series from Las Vegas. So all of that coming up on LSR TV. We hope you've enjoyed the broadcast. What a great one here at Kansas. When it's all said and done, a fuel mileage gamble, some crazy wrecks, some crazy thrills and spills along the way, but a fuel mileage gamble at the end, like always. And when it's said and done, Stephen O'Hare, his 2nd win on the Northwestern iRacing Truck Series. Awesome production by Cody Wooten and BJ Duval. For broadcast partner Greg Rentz, I'm Wesley Outland. We hope you've enjoyed our coverage tonight from Kansas. God bless you all, and please keep on praying for America.
This broadcast is the copyrighted work of LSR TV and may not be rebroadcast, retranslated, or used in any form without the express written consent of 52 Media LLC and iRacing.com Motorsports Simulations. LSR TV would like to thank you for your support, and we hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast.